Hello, my name is Dr. Mel Duffy, and I'd like to introduce you to the Graduate Certificate in Sexuality Education and Sexual Wellbeing. After the presentation, if you're interested, you can find me on mel.duffy@dcu.ie, and I would be very happy to answer any queries you have in relation to the programme. Now, this programme is in its third year, so the first year was 2017, 2018. And we set up the programme to train the next generation of educators. We wanted people to be comfortable in how they talked about sexuality. We wanted people to be comfortable in listening to young people and older people, being able to answer questions, coming from all walks of life, whether you're a teacher, a social worker, a prison officer, a prison nurse, working in older care residents, etc., right across the lifespan. Now, this program is a 12-month part-time program. It's delivered online and it's delivered in the evening. It's a level 9, which is at master's level. It's 30 credits, and the requirement to get onto the program is a primary degree at the level of 2-2. Now, your primary degree can be in anything. It can be in business, it can be in anthropology, it can be in French, it can be in mathematics, it can be in horticulture, it can be in biology, it can be in nursing, it can be in... We are interested in people who are interested in education, who are interested in knowledge, who are interested in thinking about the human being and interested in the quality of life of being human. And sexuality and sexual well-being is about quality of life. It is about the kind of lives we want to live. So the aim of the program, it underpins by 4 things: the development of knowledge, the socio-political and ethical debates of society, the environment in which fosters a way of thinking, and the higher order ways of thinking. So first of all, what are we interested in? We're interested in the diversity of sexualities, in identity, in orientation, in gender identities, and in the formation of sexual cultures. And we bring all of that to the table to talk about. We're also interested in the socio-political, in the culture within which you emanate, in the ways culture has the toolkit for behavior, how we act and behave within society. Health across the cultures is quite different in how we think about health. We're interested in history because history tells us a lot about our cultures and the societies in which we live. It also tells us a lot on how we treat people and how we think about sexuality and sexualities. We're interested in the social influences, and we're interested in the personal aspect that's brought to this. Environments can be challenging. They can challenge how we think. They can challenge how we want to be. And we're interested in the creativity and the shared learning and the shared experiences within sexualities. We're also interested in developing a skill set, sexual literacy, being able to talk about things and being able to be comfortable in how we talk about things. We're interested in lifelong learning, taking this and being able to go away, and if we need to develop more, we'll develop more. This certificate is underpinned by 3 modules: pedagogy and health, sexual health and sexual health promotion, and language, sexuality and culture. Now, pedagogy and health and sexual health promotion are modules that you have one module one semester, the other module the other semester, while language, sexuality and culture underpins throughout. It runs for the 2 semesters, which enables us, of course, to do wonderful things and to see what we do. So what are the contents? What kind of things? No, we don't wreck your brains. We do try at times, but what we want to do is enable you to have toolkits to deal with it in different ways. So we start off looking at the socialization process in language, culture, and sexuality. Because what do? We think about how were we brought up? How did we get to here today? How did we learn about sexuality? How did we talk about it? Were we allowed to talk about it? Was it free? Or was it something that was constrained by the society within which we live? The history within our own cultures, the theories, the LGBTQI and heterosexuality, is one put forward more than the other? Is one thought about as being, inverted commas, better than the other? And how do we negotiate that? Are there forms of heterosexualities that we don't talk about? We talk about power and intimacy. We talk about social institutions, and we look at the media, and we look at how the media influences how we think about things. And of course, we talk about communication. That's just a flavor of what we do. And then in sexual health and sexual health promotion, we look at the different ways of thinking about sexual health. We look at safer sex, we look at contraception, we look at communicating during sexual encounters, we look at behavior and practices. And then in pedagogy and sexual health, we look at how can we impart this knowledge? How can we pass this knowledge on? And that's what pedagogy is all about. It's all about a way of teaching, a way of enabling people to take on board what we have learned and what we want what we want others to learn. And of course, that depends on age appropriateness. It depends on the group that you're dealing with. So in a way, we look at it and we give examples, and we enable people to think about the group that they're going to be worked with, or the groups that they're going to be worked with, and how they will impart this knowledge. And then, of course, where do you take this? Well, there are people who will come from an educational background or a health background. There are others who are coming from neither an education or a health background, but thinking about what they would like to do. So really, you're either developing existing practices or you're thinking of taking up new areas. You can work in the public or the private sector. So what we have is different areas. Like in education, you've got the primary, the secondary, and the tertiary. You've services for adolescents that are both NGOs and governmental agencies. You have public health services. You have social work, prison work. You have nursing, of all the gamuts of nursing. You have sexual health education and promotion. You have the therapeutic services, marriage and relationship counselling, psychotherapy, counselling, rape crisis centres, reproductive health. We talk about, and we do look at, in relation to intimacies, we look at its use around infertility, areas that we don't really talk about very much. We take it as a given, almost, taken for granted that, people will be, if they wish to, have children. We don't think about, well, maybe I won't be able to conceive, or maybe I won't be able, my sperm count might be low, so I may not be able to father a child. Things like this. So we look at service providers like hospitals and clinics and nursing homes, and how is, the relationships and their interaction between relationships going on within them. And of course, at the end of the day, you can develop your own research portfolio and decide that you want to go and dig deeper into something and maybe do a master's or a PhD. And that's open to people as well. And so how do you apply? Well, you apply through the DCU system. You will need your academic transcripts. If you did your education through a language other than English, then you will need those to be transcribed, etc. And you will obviously be asked by DCU, because the program is done through English, and I do apologize. So we will be looking for English competency. We don't do it through another language. And then if you look at the links that are there, you can see through those links that you look up what is needed for that. So if you've any, if you've any queries, for EU applicants and non-EU applicants, feel free. Contact us. We will enable you to answer any questions that you have. And, you may have questions that we've never thought about. We will go away, we'll find you the answers. And we hope to see you in the classrooms. Take care. Have a good day.